Now we know that what are prime numbers. We learned in the last video about prime numbers. So now it's a time to discuss about the next set of numbers that are composite numbers. And to understand composite numbers, let me just remind it again that what are prime numbers in a very short way. That for prime number, the condition is that first of all that number should be greater than 1, that number should be greater than 1, and the next condition is that that number should have only and only two factors. That is, that number should have only and only two divisors, and the first factor would be 1, the number 1. Okay, the first or the one factor would be the number 1, and the next factor would be that number itself. Okay, that number itself. So like 2 or 3. So 1 multiplied by 2, and here 1 multiplied by 3. 2 and 3 both have only two factors, that is 1 and 2 for 2, and 1 and 3 for 3. There are no other factors other than 1 and 2 for 2 and 1 and 3 for 3. So the condition is that number should be greater than 1, and that number should have only and only two factors. That is, the first factor would be the number 1, and the next factor would be that number itself. Apart from that, there are no other factors. So such numbers are called prime numbers. Now apart from these numbers, that is 1 and prime numbers, whatever number comes in your mind, all are composite numbers. They all are composite numbers except one. We discussed that 1 is always called as unit, and the condition for any composite number or a prime number is that they should always be greater than 1. Okay, so 1 is not a prime number and 1 is not a composite number. It always taken as a unit value. And apart from 1 and prime numbers, whatever number comes into your mind, they all are composite numbers. And the reason why? The reason is that the composite numbers will have more than two factors or divisors. They will have more than two factors or divisors. Let me explain you with an example. Take 8. Okay, number 8. What are the factors of 8? So the factors of 8 would be, you can write 8 as 1 multiplied by 8. Okay, then you can write it as 2 multiplied by 4. Now you would notice that the number 8 has 4 factors. What are the factors? First one is 1. The next one is 8. The next one is 2. And the next one is 4. So this 8 has 4 factors. It has 4 factors. And here we saw that for a prime number, the number should only have two factors. That is 1 and that number itself. Other than that, there are no factors. But in the case of composite numbers, you could see that, as we saw in the example of 8, it has 4 factors. Take another example. Take 4. Take number 4. So you can write 4 as 1 multiplied by 4, and you can write 4 as 2 multiplied by 2. So there are again 4 factors. There are 3 factors this time. One is 1, then is 4, and the next one is 2. So it has 3 factors. You can take another number. Take 6. So this 1 multiplied by 6, and the other way would be 6, 2 multiplied by 3. So 1 is a factor, 6 is a factor, and 2 is a factor, and 3 is a factor for 6. So it has total number of 4 factors. So it can't be a prime number. So what's the point? The point is, composite number or prime numbers are always greater than 1. They are always greater than 1. The condition for prime numbers is that they should have only two factors, only and only two factors, and no other factors. First factor would be the number 1, the next factor would be that number itself. And apart from 1 and apart from prime numbers, all other numbers are composite numbers. Composite numbers have more than two factors. They have more than two factors, right? We saw composite numbers with the help of three examples. Thanks for watching.